lifestyle off of Mary's money. All I can say is karma is no joke.
Let's see. All right, hopefully my mic check is correct. Hopefully mic check 1 2 1 2. Hopefully my mic check, my sounds is good. Give at least 2 3 people a minute to load on. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva, and knowledge lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. As y'all can see, I have cammed up today. I haven't cammed up in a while. I think it's imperative that sometimes as a content creator, you owe it to your subscribers to at least cam up every once in a blue moon, even if it's just once every 6 months. You need to be able to personally interact with your subscribers, with your viewers. I think sometimes as content creators, we can become so complacent with hiding behind an avatar, that we don't tend to, you fall out of that realm of wanting to cam up because you get so comfortable with just doing your live streams behind your avatar. But I think every once in a while, as a content creator, you do need to let your fans or your subscribers at least be able to see you personally from time to time. So that is the reason why I camped up today. So if I'm not at my best, y'all just gonna have to deal with it, honey, because it is early. And I know I got stuff I got to do, so I'm gonna try not to keep this content too long. But anyway, big ups to all of my subscribers again. I definitely want to thank each and every one of y'all for supporting me throughout my journey from the moment that I started my content, which I think was 2017. So again, I really want to thank all of my ladies. I want to thank all of my guys. What's up, Dion? What's up to everybody coming in the chat? If you come into the chat and I don't acknowledge you, I don't say anything to you, don't take it personal. Sometimes when I get to doing my content, I get to rambling and I don't always look up at the chat room. So anyway, I am live today. As y'all can see, I cammed up or whatever. So anyhow, I want to talk to y'all about Mary J. Blige's ex-husband, Kendu Isaacs, Jay Shine, my big brother in the building. I know y'all on y'all way to work, so I'm trying to keep it simple. I'm not going to try to keep y'all too long because I got stuff I got to do. I got a nail appointment. I got to get my toes done. I got to get some groceries. I got stuff I got to do. So I'm going to try not to keep everybody too long. But I want to talk about the situation, y'all, with how adultery produces karma. And that's why it's important that you be careful with how you do things. You be careful with how you treat people, especially people who have had your back, people who have had your best interests. You have to be careful with how you mistreat people. So of course, your boy Kendu Isaacs, Mary J. Blige ex-husband. I know right now Mary J. Blige is definitely she's kicking her heels right now. I know she is definitely laughing at Kendu Isaacs because if y'all recall, Mary J. Blige and her ex-husband Kendu Isaacs has been married for like 13 years. So they had a very rocky marriage. And I will say this. A lot of people been giving Kendu Isaacs a hard time. A lot of people been clowning Kendu Isaacs, Mary J. Blige husband, calling him a simp, calling him, a bitch nigga, thing, he been catching a lot of heat, especially when he filed for a lawsuit for spousal support. And my thing is, if women have been able to do it for years, if women have been able to file for spousal support for years, I feel like it should be both ways around. I feel like men, if they have been with a woman who financially has more money than them, and they decide that for whatever reason the match isn't working, and they want to take their ex-wife that's more financially fortunate than them and take them to court and sue them for money, I feel like they should have the same privilege to do so. A lot of people don't look at it that way. A lot of people look at it, if a man requests money from a woman, that basically he's weak, that basically he's less than a man. I don't look at it that way. I feel like if this person was with you and they supported you, regardless of what, they deserve to get a piece of the pie. No more than when Nicki Minaj and Safari broke up, and Safari had sued Nicki Minaj for some money, because his thing was, I was with this chick, I helped her write some of this music, I helped her produce some of this music. I deserve a little something. And let's be frank, when it comes to divorces are never pretty. They're never pretty. Somebody always wants a slice of the pie. You know, when it comes to divorce, people be in their feelings. People get bitter. People get nasty, especially when money is involved. I don't know too many clean divorces. I've never known too many divorces to be clean. And that's the part I was going to bring up, Jay Shine. Also, that everybody been dogging Kendu Isaacs, but at the same time, she made her man her manager. He was not only her man, but her manager. All right. Which means he couldn't have been too much of an asshole. He couldn't have been too much of a no good ass dude, because the fact that she felt comfortable enough to allow him to be her manager, because she could have kept it separate. She could allow him to just be her husband and still allow somebody else to be her manager. But no, not only she loved him, she trusted him, evidently, because Mary J. Blige, throughout her whole duration of her career, she trusted this man who was not with her from the start. When her career got off the ground, she allowed this man to come in after she had already established and built her name, already started building her legacy. She trusted her husband enough to allow him to be the manager of her business. So as much as everybody wants to talk down on Kendu Isaacs, everybody wants to beat the man down, they want to drag him through the mud, she trusted him, evidently. So he couldn't have been the worst type of man. But women, we tend to do this a lot. When a relationship doesn't work out, women, we tend to be transparent and talk about how no good the man was. Women, we do that a lot. When we're in a relationship with a man, we want to brag to our friends. We want to brag to our fans about how wonderful our marriage is, how wonderful our relationships are, how everything is so great. And then when things go left, then we want to sit up here and talk about, well, see, he never was good for me. He never was for me. I'm like, you know what? That's that typical bitter broken woman syndrome talk. When things don't work out with a man that you have invested your time, your energy into this relationship, and the fact that he turned around and disappointed you, and in Mary J. Blige's case, not only did Kendu disappoint her, the fact that he cheated on her with another young lady who she basically was a mentor to was definitely a big slap in the face. So basically, for those who haven't been keeping up, Mary J. Blige and Kendu's 13-year marriage ended up ending because he was creeping with the young lady who she was trying to help build career. He was creeping with this young lady on the low, and that's definitely a slap in the face. You and your man, you and your husband, y'all bringing this young woman around. You're letting her share, some of your success. That way you can help her to get to where she needs to be. And out of all the women he could have messed with, he decided to mess with a female that his wife was being a mentor to. Now, that was a major violation. I totally agree, Jay Shine, because he could have picked anybody else. You know what I mean? That's a slap in the face. He knew his wife was becoming like a protege to this woman. So he could have dealt with any chick, but he chose this one. So he chose to deal with Star Shell. Star Shell is the name of the woman, young lady, who Mary J. Blige was being a mentor to. And basically, she was trying to help this young lady build her career, which I haven't heard anything else about her. So evidently, her career didn't get anywhere, and it wasn't going to get anywhere, because what a lot of women have to understand, you produce bad karma when you mess around with somebody else's husband. I know a lot of these side chicks, a lot of side chicks these days, they find it honorable to violate another woman's marriage. Now, this is not to say that I'm not holding Kendu Isaacs accountable, because he was the one that was married to Mary J. Blige. So he owed that to his wife to be faithful to his wife. But like any other side chicks is nothing but opportunists. They don't care. They have no respect, no regards for how they affect another woman's household, how they affect another woman's marriage. And side chicks have always had that psyche of, basically willing to do whatever it takes to come up. They don't care if it means hurting another woman, jeopardizing another woman's marriage. And my thing is, side chick or not, as a woman, every woman at some point in time has had her heart broken. All of us have experienced at some point in time, we have experienced being cheated on. We have experienced being violated. Every woman has experienced it. Rather, if you experienced it as a young woman, maybe it's something you experienced in your marriage. But as a woman, I don't care what level you're on. I don't care if you're black, white, rich, poor, whatever. As a woman, we all can relate to heartbreak. We know how painful it is when you have your significant other and you have your man step out on you. So these side chicks, they know from a woman's standpoint, I don't care if they're trying to secure the bag, whatever their motive is, they know how fucked up it is for a woman to experience being betrayed by her man. But like any other side chicks, they don't have no compassion for what another woman has to go through. And really, it's not their job to be compassionate. It's up to your man, it's up to your significant other to control his sexual urges and not put himself in a situation in which he will possibly step out on you. So I cannot really attack Star Shell, the side chick. But the truth is, a lot of these women out here, a lot of these side chicks, they're getting a lot of praise and admiration. Back in the day, side chicks knew how to stay on the side. Side chicks, that's why you were called a side chick. You were supposed to be on the side. You never stepped to the front. What's up, Black Dev? You never stepped to the front. You never made yourself known. You never made yourself seen. Side chicks stayed on the side. Okay? Back in the day when Granddaddy Earl or Mr. Willie was messing around with Barbara, Barbara knew her position. Barbara knew not to go knock on Mr. Willie's door. Barbara knew don't mess with Miss Willie's Mr. Willie's wife, Anime. She knew her position. Side chicks back then can see a man that they were messing with, a married man. They could run into his wife at the grocery store. They could run into his wife at the hair salon. They could run into his wife at the street. But side chicks knew their position. They didn't approach that wife. They didn't say anything out of pocket to that wife. They didn't go pulling up in the wife's driveway, yelling across the street for all her neighbors to hear. Yeah, I've been banging your man last night. Yeah, that's why Willington was my house last night. Black women, married side chicks, they knew to stay on the side. These new school side chicks, they have broken all of the rules. They put it all out there thanks to social media. What's up, American Negro? Thanks to social media, now these side chicks, they are quick to expose a married man in a heartbeat. So it's to the point now you damn near can't even really give these females an opportunity, because the moment you go against the grain, the moment she emotionally starts getting involved and she doesn't know how to separate her side chick feelings and she ends up having main chick feelings, that's when the man starts having problems. And that's usually what happens. A lot of these side chicks, they can't deal with the man for too long without catching feelings. In the beginning, they talk all that shit like, I'm good. I ain't trying to make you my man like that. I just want to have a good time. As long as you come and see me every once in a while, as long as we get to kick it every once in a while, I'm good. A lot of these side chicks will start off initially and act like, they're comfortable with being a side chick. And sometimes this makes a married man comfortable because he feels like, well, shit, I get the best of both worlds. I got my wife at home who cooks, cleans, takes care of my kids. Then when I want a slice of pie, I can always go to this chick, hit her up, every once in a while. And the problem is these women, they always start off in the beginning, they start off strong, and they say they're not going to catch feelings, and they say, I'm not going to make no trouble for you. I understand you're married. I'm not that kind of chick. They start off saying that, but eventually when you keep laying these women and you keep giving good pipe to these women, eventually every time you start depositing penis, over time, a woman will eventually start catching feelings. She don't know when to separate fucking from feelings. A lot of women do not know how to separate the two. Okay, they will sit up there and start off with that big girl shit in the beginning, like, I'm not looking for no man right now. I'm just happy we're getting the D right now. I'm good. I'm happy being single. I'm happy with my best life. And eventually she catches feelings. I mean, you can't keep coming to, the more you keep banging a chick, she's going to catch feelings. Queen of the South, what's up, boo? Yeah. To answer Jay Sean's question, yeah, Mary J. Blige was helping this woman. She became like a mentor for her. Because Mary J. Blige went through a lot to get, to become successful. So what Mary J. Blige was doing was she took this young woman under her wing to try to help her build her career. And this is the same young woman that was banging her chick. I mean, I'm saying banging her chick, banging her husband. Okay, so Star Shell is the young lady that Mary J. Blige basically became a protege. She was a protege to her. So imagine you being a successful singer, you taking this young lady under your wing, you showing her the ropes, bringing her on tour with you. Now, mind you, this young woman goes everywhere you and your husband go. This woman is going everywhere where you and your husband go. Now, me personally, I never felt, I can't speak for other women. I don't care for any outside woman hanging around me and my husband too much. I'm never been comfortable with that, especially the way these females move these days. I've never been comfortable with that. I think any woman that's married or in a solid relationship, no woman should be hanging around you and your husband like a third wheel. Now, my thing is, if Mary J. Blige was going to take her up under her wing as her mentor, Kendu shouldn't have been there every step of the way. I just think sometimes as a woman, as a wife, you have to separate personal from business. And to me personally, when I kept seeing Star Shell constantly hanging out with Mary J. Blige and her husband Kendu, it just never set well with me. I'm like, y'all are a married couple. No woman, even if it's business, you're not going to be hanging around me and my husband a whole lot. I just don't feel comfortable with a woman hanging around me and my husband a whole lot. Can you imagine? She probably was sitting in a limo together with Mary J. Blige and Kendu every time they was going on tour. She probably was sitting right in a limo together with Kendu Isaacs and Mary J. Blige. Probably every time they went out to dinner after tour, just think about how much interaction Star Shell had with Mary J. Blige and her husband. It is too close for comfort. I don't see how Mary J. Blige felt comfortable with that. But nevertheless, she did. And her feeling comfortable or uncomfortable, that still didn't give Kendu Isaacs the right to start having an affair with this woman. Now, for everybody who's coming in the chat room, basically what's going on is Mary J. Blige and her ex-husband, Kendu Isaacs, they've been divorced since 2016. That is when the divorce had finalized. Basically, something happened with Kendu Isaacs and his sugar baby. Because let's face it, that was the only reason Star Shell was with Kendu Isaacs, because Kendu Isaacs was spending Mary J. Blige's money on her. Okay? And sometimes the way you get them is how you lose them. And it amazes me how you have a lot of men who like to sit up here and brag about being with younger women. They quick to say when a woman is 40 and over, she hits the wall. We're basically damaged goods. once we hit that 4-0. But there's a catch to dealing with these young women. A lot of these young women, even though they may be perky in the right places, and the fact that they're young, they tend to be perfect eye candy when it comes to bringing them around your homeboys, when it comes to fulfilling your sexual fantasies. You got this young woman that's tight and right in all the wrong places, but the problem is she not screwed. Some of her brain cells are unscrewed. And that's the problem when you deal with these younger women. And the truth is, the only reason why Star Shell dealt with Kendu Isaacs was because she knew Kendu Isaacs had access to Mary J. Blige's money. Other than that, she would have not been interested in Kendu Isaacs, because let's face it, he's not that attractive of a man. He's not an ugly guy, but he's not that attractive of a man. And plus, most people knew Kendu Isaacs from being with Mary J. Blige. Let's just call it for what it is. Nobody would not have known who this Negro was had he never been married to Mary J. Blige. But I will also say this. Before I ride him too hard, I will say this. Mary J. Blige is a very talented singer. Mary J. Blige is a very beautiful woman. I respect the fact that she has gone through a lot, and she has not allowed that to stop her from being successful. She has not allowed her obstacles and her trials and tribulations to derail her from being the successful woman she is today. But I'm going to be honest, Mary J. Blige is a piece of work. Even before she got with Kendu Isaacs, she has had a lot of toxic relationships with men. So before we jump on the Mary J. Blige bandwagon and we empathize with her, what's up, CC Rose and Cartier? Yes, y'all, I am live streaming today. I actually decided to cam up. I know y'all have not seen me in a while, so I said I'm gonna cam up today. So I just thought I would cam up. So it's important for content creators that we cam up sometimes and don't always hide behind an avatar. We got to show who we are. We got to interact with y'all. I feel like if you have a channel and you have a lot of people who support you and rock with you, you owe it to them to cam up once in a while. I don't care if it's every 6 months, every 8 months. Your subscribers need to see who you are. They need to know that you are you, that you don't only feel comfortable with interacting with your fans behind an avatar or a profile picture. So that's why I'm camming up today, because I know y'all have not seen me other than my pictures that I've been posting. So that's why I decided to cam up. But anyway, good morning. So, truth be told, Mary J. Blige is a woman that has had a lot of dysfunctional issues from her past. And she has been in a lot of toxic, turbulent relationships. Casey from Jodeci, the singer Case, who she was also dating for a certain period of time. Mary J. Blige has been with a lot of toxic men. I'm back, y'all. That was my husband. But anyway, so Mary J. Blige, like I said, before we get on the Mary J. Blige bandwagon and before we start giving her all this empathy, all this sympathy, because Black women, we tend to empathize and sympathize with other Black women, regardless of how dysfunctional we are, regardless of how we have a track record of being in toxic, turbulent relationships. We are always quick to sympathize with each other. Like I said, Mary J. Blige is also a piece of work within her own self. She's even admitted how she's been on drugs, how she's had issues with alcohol. So let's not give Mary J. Blige all this empathy and sympathy and look at Kendu Isaacs as the worst man on this planet. Because let me tell you something. For Kendu Isaacs to have been with Mary J. Blige for 13 years, knowing her history with drugs, with abuse, that is a lot. I'm telling you, some of these black men go through a lot with black women that have suffered a significant amount of damage. It's a lot being married to these type of women who have struggled with childhood issues, black women who have been molested, black women who have been abused. A lot of content creators don't talk about this. They basically want to give black men a hard time when it comes to dealing with black women who have had to black men who have had to deal with black women who have these type of issues. So I will say Mary J. Blige is not an easy woman to deal with. And even she admitted this. What's up, Cartier? Yes, sir. I'm enjoying my days off. I'm glad I have not had to babysit for a couple of days. I know the inmates probably wondering where I've been because they ain't seen me in a couple of days. But, you know, I had got some work done. That's why I'm talking kind of funny. I'm supposed to be getting a bridge done. I had all kind of root canals done. It's just been one thing after another. That's why when I'm talking to y'all, it may sound like I'm chewing on something or I have something in my mouth because I still got to get used to this tooth that they just put in there. So it's just pretty crazy. But yes, I'm enjoying my days off so far. So Mary J. Blige admitted that she's been a piece of work. She's admitted her drug abuse, her substance abuse. Now, keep in mind, when Mary J. Blige got with Kendu Isaac, Mary J. Blige put Kendu Isaacs on a pedestal because he was the only man that had a higher tolerance level to deal with her dysfunction compared to other men in her past. Like Casey from Jodeci, who was dating her, that relationship was very turbulent because he also was struggling with drug abuse. So he wasn't about to deal with her as long as Kendu Isaacs has. So let's keep in mind, like I said before, we give Mary J. Blige all this empathy and sympathy. Kendu Isaacs had to go through a lot in that marriage. And she even said that. Now, she's not going to say that. She's not going to say that now because they had an ugly divorce. She's not gonna say that. She's not gonna admit how much Kendu Isaacs has done for her. She's not gonna admit now that he was there when nobody else was. Now keep in mind, when Mary J. Blige got with Kendu Isaacs, she put him on the pedestal. She even said that he was the reason she got off of drugs. Now this is what she said. She said that if it was not for him, that she would have not made it as far as she did. Like most women, when divorces get ugly, when relationships get ugly, now we want to throw the man under the bus. I see women do this shit all the time. When they married to the man, when they with the man, oh, he's a wonderful husband. He's a great guy. He's loving. He's so supporting. He's such a good man. But as soon as she breaks up with him, he ain't never been shit. He ain't never had nothing. I had to pay for his hairline. I had to buy his suits. He couldn't even afford to get his suits. When I met him, he was wearing suits from Salvation Army. Then when he got with me, you know what I'm saying? I'm the one who built him. I'm the one who upgraded him. You know what I mean? Women do that shit all the time. I got girlfriends who do it. They was up here and drag a man through the mud once the relationship was over. Knowing you used to love that broke man, Now, because he left you or cheated on you or whatever, he ain't never been shit. But when you was with him, nobody couldn't tell you he wasn't shit. Make no mistake about it. Mary J. Blige was in love with this man. She put Kendu on the pedestal. We quick to say y'all ain't shit when y'all disappoint us. We will talk about one thing about a woman. When you make us mad, we will tell everybody everything we ever did for your ass. When I got with him, this nigga ain't even own no drawers. I had to buy him some drawers. But when you was in love with him, you was happy to buy that nigga some drawers. You was happy about it. You rode him way to Tangent Outlets and you helped him pick out them Tommy Hill figure damn boxers. So don't sit up here and clown him now. Women kill me with that. I mean, I'm guilty. I've done it. We was up here, I had to feed him. He ain't had nothing. He was broke. I had to pick him up in my car. I had to lend him my car. Oh, but when you was in love with him, you ain't mind letting him drive your Toyota Camry. Don't be sitting up here talking trash about the man now, how you had to put gas in the car. You was in love with him, okay? And a lot of the sisters in here, y'all laughing because y'all know y'all did it. I did it. We all do it. So Mary J. Blige want to call Kendu broke and say he ain't had nothing. But honey, you was in love with that broke man. And I get it. He disappointed you. He let you down. He hurt you. You angry and you got every right to be. But let's not get it twisted. You was in love with that no good man. Remember her song, I Love My Mr. Wrong? She knew Kendu was Mr. Wrong and she loved his Mr. Wrong ass. So I don't want to hear all that about, oh yeah, he ain't been nothing. His dusty ass kids. I had to keep his dusty ass kids. But when you was in love with him, you used to let them dusty ass kids come over. Yes, honey. We all do it. What's up, Mahogany? How you doing, madam? Blessings to you, queen. Big ups to all of my queens and my kings in the chat room. So I feel sorry. I do empathize with Mary J. Blige, but not that much. Because I see women pull this shit all the time. We talk bad about men when they disappoint us, when they let us down. Instead of saying, you know what, I hate that he betrayed me and played me the way he did, but you know, it is what it is. I'm going to grow from this. I'm going to be a bigger woman. I'm going to be a stronger woman behind this. I'm not going to allow this to defeat me. But no, that's not the direction we want to go. We want to talk about all the negative things, you know. Oh, when he was staying with me, he always had skip marks in his drawers. And honey, when y'all was together, you didn't mind them skip marks in them drawers. You put it right in the washer and you added your little Clorox and your fabric softener and you kept it moving. Now you want to air all a man's dirty laundry. Now, Mary J. Blige bragged on Kendu Isaacs. Anybody who's been a fan of Mary J. Blige know that. She was in love with this man. And right now she started speaking negatively about him when he let her down and he disappointed her. And I get it. I'm not saying she right and I'm not saying she wrong, but let's just make it clear. We know what it is. It is what it is. I'm going to try to put some of y'all chats up here, y'all. So we'll go talking about that man now. That's why some women do nothing for a man the next time around. Absolutely. And that's very true, Rhapsody. When you done got burnt, it makes you put your guard up, you know. And the worst thing is the mistake that a lot of women we tend to make, we decide to put our guard up at the wrong time. When we should have put it up, that's when we should have put it up. Now, when you get burnt, you want to put your guard up for every man, for any man who tries to build something with you. You know what I mean? So sometimes you block your blessings when you hold on to negative experiences. It means that person still has control over your life. You know what I mean? But and truth be told, if there was a lot of things you done that was damaging to the relationship, it does not matter what man you get with, you're going to sabotage him as well. Some of us as women, we are just damaged goods because we have taken so much shit off of the wrong dudes. So when we do meet a man that's about something, we tend to put our guard up. We tend to use our defense mechanism when we should have applied that long time ago. So what tends to happen is we create this bitter mode where we become bitter and we become this angry Black woman because we've never gotten past things that have been done to us in our past. So what we do is we bring that baggage into every relationship from there on out. And then we wonder why I'm still not married, why I still don't have a man, why I still and have not been able to build a relationship because you're still bringing that old baggage, that old pain, that past pain. You still bring it with you to the next guy, and he had nothing to do with it. Before you get another relationship, you have to heal and get rid of that old baggage, because what you'll do is you'll sabotage the next relationship when that guy had nothing to do with Mike, Ricky, or Bobby, whoever the hell betrayed you or hurt you or wronged you. They got nothing to do with that. But anyway, we'll save that for another time. As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk about that on my woman's channel. Ladies, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to my Mocha's Ladies Lounge. That's my channel specifically for women, where we're going to talk about healing before we get into new relationships. Before we call ourselves stepping out there into the world dating, you have to get rid of old baggage. It is not fair for the next man to deal with all the damage and all the baggage that the last man left behind. It is not fair to him. Same thing to some of you men. Some of you men are broken and scorned, and you're mad about your baby mamas. You're mad about other women who have disappointed you, who have played you, who have only taking you for what you had, and now you want to walk around with your guard up, and you resent all women because you gave your trust or you gave your time to the wrong woman. Now you want every woman to pay for that. You penalizing other women for that, when really that was the woman you chose. And a lot of black men and black women do that. Whenever we have been burnt or whenever we have been betrayed, we want to walk around with this mechanism of nobody's not going to hurt me again. Nobody's not going to betray me again. So you end up missing out on your blessing because you're still holding on to anger and hostility from people in your past who have moved on, who are happy, who aren't even thinking about you anymore. And here it is, you're still holding on to those grudges. But anyway, we'll talk about that another time. So basically, when Kendu Isaacs got with this woman, it was going to be a recipe for disaster. What a lot of people have to realize, when you make a covenant before God, when you speak those vows for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, those are not just words to recite. Marriage is not a game. And it's very unfortunate that you have a lot of adults who don't understand that. Marriage is not for kids. Marriage is not for children. Marriage is for grown, mature folks. Meaning that just because we hit a bump in the road, or we have an obstacle, or we have an issue at hand, that does not mean step out and go fuck somebody else. Because right now we're having issues. That does not mean step out, and get attention from somebody else. And the problem is, you have a lot of married people that are immature as hell. And what Kendu Isaac did was very childish. And then he was stupid with it. You're going to choose a woman that's up close and personal. Too close for comfort. You wasn't smart enough to if you was going to mess around. Even Mary J. Blige said it. Mary J. Blige said she would have stayed with Kendu. She would have tried to find a way to work it out and get past it if it was not her. She said, had it been anybody else, we could have persevered. But the fact that he chose her, and I get it. She took this woman up under her wing. That was like a little sister. Like I said, and cheating is wrong. And I would say I do not condone cheating. I do not condone it. I'm not telling any woman she should stay or she should go. Only a woman knows her tolerance level. You have some women, once they have been cheated on, all bets are off. They don't want the relationship anymore. They don't want the marriage anymore. It's a done deal. It's a deal breaker. Cheating for some people is a deal breaker. I get it. But there's still some type of rules and regulations if you're going to cheat. If you're going to cheat, at least don't get involved with somebody that's in close proximity of you and your wife. Need some of y'all comment. Cartier says, don't buy me them voodoo draws. You're right. We put up the Mr. We put it up the Mr. Right instead of the Mr. Dusty. Yes, ma'am. What's up, pretty kitty? But Mocha, he cheated. She should have not had to pay him. And let me tell you, I agree, but guess what? That is what marriage is about. That's why you have to be careful who you marry. Now, in a perfect world, yes, he should have not cheated. We all know, all of us in here as adults know cheating is wrong. We know that. But does that mean people gonna stop cheating? That's the chance you take when you marry. Marriage is not a promise that your significant other is not gonna wrong you or betray you. Marriage is a commitment between two individuals, and you have no control over what your husband does outside of those vows. You have no control in what your wife does outside of those vows. You can be committed all you want. You have absolutely no control. If your husband wants to mess around, he's going to do that. If your wife wants to mess around, she's going to do that. It is up to that man and that woman, even when they are being tested, even when they are being tried, they have to make that individual choice to not violate their marriage. So with that being said, Kendu Isaac was wrong, but in the court of the law, because he was married to her, that is why the courts made it to where Mary J. Blige had to pay him $30,000 a month. Morally, yes, he shouldn't get a goddamn thing. But guess what? The law, depending on what state you in, they don't give a damn. They don't look at, well, she cheated. Guess what? Scottie Pippen, ex-wife, Lorna Larsa Pippen, we done seen her haul around. We done seen her do all kind of disrespectful stuff to Scottie Pippen. I bet you Scottie Pippen still got to put money in the pockets. It's not about what's right. It's about what the law says. And that's why you have to be careful with who you marry. You know how many people have disrespected their wife or husband, and that same husband and our wife who did nothing wrong had to pay them? Young Jeezy's wife, Jenna May, the one he just married, I think she's Vietnamese or Korean. Her ex-husband, she had to pay that joker. Even though he stepped out on her because she was the primary breadwinner, she had to pay him. Now, Mary J. Blige is not paying. I think that court order is over. I don't think she's paying Kendu Isaacs any more money at this point. But the sad part is, even when he got that $30,000, he tried to really dig a knife for her back by asking for an increase. Now, he did not get that increase. He thought he was going to get that increase, but he didn't get that increase. So, you know, sometimes God don't like ugly. He'll let you get by with a little bit, but when he tried to come back and get more money, the judge was like, nope, we're not giving you no more money. So Kendu Isaacs got his karma. And sometimes that's what I'm learning, and that's what a lot of us have to learn as adults. Sometimes silence is the best revenge. Moving on and doing great and being successful is the best revenge. When you try to go toe to toe and you try to constantly get back at a person who betrayed you, who hurt you, you add more pain to yourself. Sometimes it makes the process of you healing from them, it makes it even longer when you try so hard to retaliate and get back at them. It just makes the process of healing longer. Sometimes you have to count your loss. Even when you know you didn't do shit wrong to that person, even though you know that person was the one who did the damage to you, sometimes you have to take a nail. Yep, good point, Rhapsody. Wendy Williams' husband. Sometimes you have to take an L. As long as you know in your heart you did the right thing as a husband, you did the right thing as a wife, long as you know you wasn't the one who stepped out and cheated, you good. But the one who stepped out on you, that's the one that's going to have to pay that debt to karma. There's never been anybody who has cheated on their husband and wife who has become successful. It's every once in a while, but for the most part, people who have violated their marriages, it's not too much good that has come for them behind it. It may be something good for the moment, but in most cases, eventually it's going to blow up in their face. That's what happened with Kendu Isaacs. He got with this young woman who his wife was a protege to, lost his marriage, lost everything that he had with Mary J. Blige for a sugar baby. Got with this young chick because she was young and hot. I guess whatever was going on in his mind that possessed him to want to leave his marriage. How he didn't figure eventually the flame was going to burn out. That's the thing some of these men don't understand. The side chick can always make you feel good for the moment because she has not invested a lot in you. She has not invested a lot in you. A side chick can give you the best 10 minutes, 1 hour of your life because she's not putting anything else in that. She's not putting nothing else in you. She's not taking care of your kids. She's not cleaning your house. She's not cooking for you. She's not helping you with your business. The side chick can always give you the best 25, 35 minutes of your life. She can make you feel like a king of the jungle in the bedroom. I mean, she can suck it like a dirt devil vacuum. She can do all of those things. And the reason why a lot of these side chicks are so phenomenal in the head game in the bedroom, because they're not doing shit else. They're not cooking. They're not cleaning. So, of course, she can give you the best 15, 25 minutes of your life. She could ride you, glide you, slob on and off. She can do all of these wonderful things because she only dealing with your ass every other Saturday at the Motel 6. So, of course, she can give you the time of your life. What else is the side chick doing besides giving you head? Does she wash your clothes? Does she handle your business affairs? Does she help you pay the bills? That's where some of these guys get manipulated, because the side chick could give you, she has so much room to pleasure you because she ain't doing shit else. But when it's all said and done, when you lose your marriage behind these hoes, eventually the excitement wears off because you start seeing this bitch for who she truly is. Take away the head game. Take away, her stroke game, and you will really see that she's a damn airhead, or she's dysfunctional, or she got all kind of other issues you didn't know about because you was too busy climaxing. What's up, Seaport? Seaport says, Motel 6, I prefer Howard Johnson. What's up, Double C? Anyone, a side chick can give you the best 20, 35 minutes of your life because she ain't doing a goddamn thing. But what tends to happen is, when you're no longer dealing with her every other Saturday and you lost your marriage or lost your girlfriend, now you're dealing with her full time. Because remember, when you was fucking with her, you was only dealing with her every other Saturday or every other week. So you didn't get to see all the dysfunction and all the retardation. You didn't get to see all of that. But what tends to happen, you start to see this broad for who she truly is, and then you realize the head game ain't worth the aggravation you got to go through. She crazy, she possessive, She's demanding. And don't let it be one of those ones who you always gave money to when you was fucking with her. Because now you got to upkeep that lifestyle that you introduced her to. If you meet a side chick and you basically you groomed her with money, you lured her with money, you lured her with the 3Ds. When you lure a side chick with the 3Ds, which is dick, dollar, and a dinner, when you lure her in with those three things, though, you have to keep producing those things. You can't stop now because you lost your wife, you lost your marriage. Your side chick still expects you to distribute that same lifestyle you distributed to her when you was dealing with her while you was married to your wife. She still wants the money. She still wants to be dined at those upscale 5-star restaurants. You can't start a side chick off at Ruth Chris and now you want to downgrade to Red Lobster. She gonna get in her feelings. However you start a side chick off, you have to keep maintaining. Now you want to downgrade. And the bad part is the side chick, she was only with you because of what you had. Now, when you get in those positions, when you no longer have those things, once the money gone, the honey gone. That's what happened to Kendu Isaacs. He was supporting this chick off of Mary J. Blige money. And once Mary J. Blige allotment spousal support checks start being deposited in his account, she ain't want him no more. Because she was never in love. Starshell was never in love with Kendu Isaacs. She was in love with what he could do for her. And a lot of older men, they think these young women really be into them like that. These young women be into what you can do. But as you get older, up in your age, you having a stroke, and you need this young chick to go pick up your medicine for you. She don't want to pick up your medicine. She too bougie. She's so used to you doing everything for her. And now that you're older, now you're looking for her to do for you. She looking at you like, shit, what? I got to go pick up your medicine. She'll let your old ass lay right there and have a stroke and die. Rhapsody says, just give it some time. She will either become a nag just like they claim their wife and probably doing stuff to make the wife nag. Yeah. Eventually, the side chick is going to show her true colors. When it's time for you looking for her to help you, she like, what? I got to help? What's up, Titan? Them side chicks, you can't please them but so long. You can't entertain them but so long unless you're a millionaire. Now, if you're a millionaire and you can always supply for her and she ain't never got to do shit, then that's different. But if you're an average working man, let's say you got your own business, let's say you're making some decent money. You lose your business, your money with the economy, the pandemic, she gone, she out of there. Because she never got with you for you. She got with you because of what you could produce. And that's why when I listen to these consecrators tell these young men, you need to get you a young woman. You need to get you a woman with a bad body. You need to get you I'm like, you setting these young men up for failure because you're basically teaching them that they should only get with women who can contribute physical attributes and nothing else. And Kendu Isaacs found that out the hard way. Now, when him and Mary J. Blige first divorced, Kendu Isaacs was all over the place with this young chick. They was going to 5-star restaurants, 5-star hotels, off of Mary J. Blige money. When he could no longer provide a lifestyle off of Mary J. Blige money. Now she's with a whole nother man. She's on Instagram with a whole nother man. And guess what, y'all? Not only is Kendu Isaac's mistress with another man, she's pregnant from a whole nother man. What's up, T. Smith? Blessings to you, dear. Rhapsody says, that's why a lot of them having heart attacks, having sex with them younger women. Y'all remember The Color Purple when she said, when she said he died on top of me. That's a good analogy. Very good analogy, Rhapsody. Yeah, them young women, they'll kill you. Yeah, they good eye candy, but she don't even know how to give you your medicine. You tell her to give you your high blood pressure, cholesterol pills. This young bitch, she won't even read the label off the goddamn medicine and make sure she giving you the right medicine. She missing give your ass Gas X because she pretty, but she dumb as a damn doorknob. And you in the bed having strokes because she gave you Gas X instead of your high blood pressure pill. Because she young and dumb, and she done got so used to you enabling her. She don't know how to woman up now that you need her to be a woman. Thank you, Double C, for the $2 donation. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's not his baby. Come to find out, Kendu Isaacs, his sugar baby, she been left him. When Mary J. Blige checks stopped depositing into his account, when her money stopped depositing, the sugar baby left. Star Shell, she left. The way you get these women, that's what you have to do to keep them. These young women, they don't know anything. Let me tell you something. I know an older guy now. He's every bit he's almost in his 60s. Very nice guy, has his own lawn company. Been doing really good with his business for years. He got with this young woman because, again, he loves young women. He ain't want no woman his age who hit the wall. Okay, I get it. As a man, you are entitled to have your own preferences. I get it. Women, we're entitled to have our own preferences, but sometimes your preference don't necessarily works for you. Just because that's the type of woman you want, just because that's the type of man you want, that don't mean that's going to be the best for you. You could want what you want, but if it's not for you, it don't matter how bad you want it. It's an accident waiting to happen. Like me, I had to learn the hard way. My type, I was never their type. The men I had in mind, they was not feeling me. I had in my mind what type of man I wanted, and when I met that man, he was not feeling me like that. Sometimes your preference, you ain't they goddamn preference. When are people going to understand that? Now, back to this dude about this older guy, right? He has his own business, nice guy, he's in his 60s. He's always dealt with young women. He has, I say, probably about 13, 14 kids or something like that. But he takes care of all his kids and everything. So this last woman he married, she's every bit 20 years younger than him. When I say he can't get this young broad to do nothing, she won't cook, she won't clean. He come home to Kentucky Fried Chicken in a bucket every day. Now, fried chicken is the easiest thing any black woman could cook. The average black woman can cook fried chicken. So if a black woman has to constantly buy fried chicken, she is not the woman for you, gentlemen. Every woman in this chat room can fry some fried chicken. So if she got to buy fried chicken every day, that's already a bad sign. He come home every day to a bucket of KFC. If not KFC, he come home to a chicken sandwich. He come on Chinese food. She would not cook. Well, I don't know if she cleans. I can't say that. But I know he cannot get her to handle business. He has his own business. He wanted to teach her how to do some things business-wise. That way, God forbid, if she should pass, she can use his business to continue to make a living off of. He's trying to make this young broad think like a woman. And he started getting frustrated because he's up here explaining to this young woman how to run a business, how to conduct business. If he were to ever pass away, she ain't concerned about that. She want to know when can she get her next fill-in. She wants to know when can she get her hair done. She is not interested in helping him build anything. That's the thing. You could want a young woman. You could desire a young woman. But the problem is you cannot make her mind become a woman. Has to already be in her to want to become a woman. Now, you do have some young women who know how to handle business like a woman. I married when I was 21 years old. I was already cooking, cleaning, business-wise. I wasn't quite there, but I knew I wanted to be a wife at 21 years old. And I was already doing things that wives in training was supposed to do. I was already cooking, cleaning, and holding and being a housewife while my husband worked. Only part I wasn't good in was business because I didn't know a whole lot about business. But all women, it does not matter how much you may desire a certain woman. It does not mean that she's wife material. You may want her because of how bad her body is. You may want her because she's mixed or she's light-skinned or whatever your personal fetish is. But at the end of the day, you cannot change her mindset. If she has the mindset of an airhead, it don't matter how much dick and dollars you giving her, she's not going to woman up. It's not going to happen. Oh, Jay Shine says, don't be a sexist. I can cook fried chicken too. Big ups to all my guys in the chat room who can fry some fried chicken. Big ups to all the gentlemen. Actually, men, y'all do cook better than women. When a man does cook, he cooks better than women. My husband cooks better than me, but the problem is he cooks only twice a year. But when he does cook, he cooks better than me. As Seaport says, can't turn a dummy into a housewife. And a lot of men try to do that, and you end up frustrated. So the older guy that I was telling you about, you can tell he's frustrated because he's married this young woman that he can't make a woman. He married this little girl that he can't make a woman. So he has just learned to accept her lack of housewife skills. He done learned to come home to the Burger King wrappers, to the Kentucky Fried Chicken buckets, to the Chick-fil-A wrappers. He has learned to tolerate it because he's too old now to go out there and trade her in for another young woman. So he's pretty much stuck, and that's basically Mary J. Blige, ex-husband. He should have known that was going to happen. I don't know what possessed him to think that young woman was going to stick with him. Because I'm telling you something, these young women, they get bored very easily with older men. Young women get bored easily with older men. The only way an older man can keep a woman entertained, he has to constantly spend money. Long as he can keep supplying a lifestyle, she'll never be tired of you. But you can't be old and broke. If a young woman going to deal with you while you're older, you're going to have some bread. Because as you get older, there's going to be certain things you can't do for her anymore. You're not going to be able to sexually please her like you first was able to when you was younger. You're not going to be able to do certain things. You're not going to be able to go downtown with your dentures slipping out your mouth, You're not going to be able to get on your knees with your arthritis. Depending on what you're going through, you may not be able to get it up. I mean, let's face it, as an older man, sometimes, unless you be hitting the gym and you really taking care of yourself, Your six-pack may turn into a Heineken keg. It's going to be things that you're going to go through as an older man that her young immaturity is not going to be able to comprehend. See, me and my husband, we only 5 years difference in age. He's 5 years older than me, but I know he's aging. So I'm young, I'm old enough, but I'm also young enough to understand he's aging, and there's going to be things that's going to change about him at the longer we continue our marriage. I understand sometimes he gets tired. He don't always want to smash me every night, depending on how many jobs he had to do. And vice versa. Because we both understand, we both accept that aging becomes a part of marriage. Shit y'all used to do when y'all first started off together, y'all don't have the energy for that. But when you really have a love for each other, you learn to adjust. But when you're dealing with somebody younger people are selfish. They don't understand that. A younger woman, she don't care if you're struggling, your business is declining. She want to know when you're going to give her some money. When can she get her nails done? When can she get her hair done? That's what she's thinking about. But a woman who's kind of used to going through the struggle, she understands you have your season where you can do for her, and you have your season where you just cannot. And as a woman, she understands that. But when you picking up these women because you lured them with money, or you left your wife for them, or however, expect to have to pay your debt to karma. So Kendu Isaacs is paying his debt to karma. What was he thinking? What's up, Reg? That, and I also think that is the maturity difference between two age groups. Absolutely. You can want a young woman. Nothing is wrong with that. Because I get it. I hear older men all the time say, I'm not dealing with older women because they're stuck in their ways, they set in their ways, they this, they that. Okay. I get it. But being with a younger woman is not all of what it's cracked up to be. Just like you have a lot of these cougars. It's both ways, because you have a lot of these older women that are dating these young men. These young men do not want to sit home and listen to you play Mahalia Jackson or Mississippi Choir all night. Eventually, he's going to want to go out with his homeboys. He's still going to be attracted to women his age. You got to accept that. You're going to deal with somebody younger. You have to accept they are still going to be attracted to people their age. You can't get with a young man and a young woman and think they ain't never going to cheat on you, because see, your life is over. As you done got older, you have lost interest in cheating. You may have lost interest in hoeing, but you have to allow your younger man, your younger woman, you have to allow them to get that stuff out their system. Just because you 60 and you getting double ARP benefits, your ass too old to want to hoe around and cheat, that's you. But if you're dealing with somebody 20 and 30, they didn't get that stuff out their system yet. You got to allow them to get, all of that out of their system. You can't expect them to stop all that because they with you. Tell me, can you tell? True Rhapsody. Cartier says, young women want 5 rounds. I don't have time. Yeah, Reg, the beer keg. You gotta understand, you may be attracted to the younger woman. That don't mean she's gonna stay attracted to you. You're gonna always stay attracted to the younger woman because she's still tight and she's still right. That don't mean she's gonna be attracted to you, because you got to realize you're getting older. Unless you've been one of those older men, not a granddaddy, but a zaddy. Unless you're a zaddy. And all of my women in the chat room, they know there's a difference between a granddaddy and a zaddy. Zaddy is not the same thing as a granddaddy. Zaddy, still in shape. He got his salt and pepper, but he still looks good. He still got his muscles. He's still cut. He's lean. That's a zaddy. Some of y'all ain't zaddies. Y'all look like granddaddies. You got your beer kegs. You looking like you do oil changes for only $10 a month. You got dirt all in your nails. You wear overalls, onesies, looking like an overgrown toddler. All older men are not in good shape. Yeah, you may have this young tenderoni thing that's tight and right, but she's losing attraction for you. The only attraction she has for you is your bank account. That's why she's dealing with your bare belly climbing on her young ass all night. She got to turn the other way while you hitting it just so she ain't got to focus on your big bare belly bumping the hell out of her. And you think she moaning because she turned on. She moaning because your ass is big and heavy as hell and your stomach is killing her. Oh, gosh. You swearing she moaning. You got too much weight on that young tenderoni thing. You got too much weight. You killing her. I'm going to hell for this. Young women, she go, cause you killing her. Your big old ass is smothering the hell out of this young girl. But for real, these young women, they lose attraction for y'all older men, and y'all swear y'all be doing something. You on top of her smelling like goddamn Old Spice and old castor oil from an oil change. These older men swear they be doing something. That Reg, I'm telling you. Watch that stomach. These younger women ain't playing with it. All she got to get on top of you. But that may be a problem if you lost your stamina. CC says facts. I never understood why older get into relationships with young people. Just have fun and keep it moving, nothing serious. I agree. I think it's nothing wrong with having a good time with a younger woman. But when you talk about trying to make her your wife, she can't cook. She only know how to microwave hot pockets and TV dinners. You're an older man. When you're an older man, you got to watch your sodium and your salt intake. You can't be letting these young women just cook any old thing for you. Now, older women, she'll know, okay, she'll buy you the Mrs. Dash. She'll season your food with the Mrs. Dash because she knows that's not high in sodium. Or she'll cook your vegetables a certain way. She'll steam them. She won't saute your vegetables in high salted butter. You know, older women, they tend to be a little bit more attentive. These young women, they don't have time to cook. They got to get to their hair appointment. They got to get to their nail appointment. They don't have time to cook you a low salt meal. And you wonder why you having a stroke and a heart attack. And then these young women, they'll stress you out because it's like raising another daughter. You got to teach her everything. And then the truth is, some of these young women don't want to be trained. Yep, smelling like Bengay. And some of these older men on top of you smell like Bengay. Smelling like menthol. Cartier says some young women wipe back to front. Now, you know what? I don't know what happened. I don't know my little Wi-Fi. I know I paid my bill, so I think it's a little Wi-Fi. An older woman is not going to cook at all because her knees hurt. Now, You know what, Q4, why is you always coming up in here going against the grain? Hey y'all, I don't know why my internet is acting crazy. But I get it. Like I said, everybody has their preference. I get it. You got some people, they rather date younger women, they rather date younger men. I'm just saying there's a lot that comes with that. You have to be mindful. Yep, I think I made the young women and I made Mr. Charlie upset. I get it. Yeah, they had to flag me. You know, when you start kicking that truth, all of a sudden you start having all kind of crazy problems. But in all honesty, if you are in a marriage, even if you are in a dry spell, I will be honest, marriage does get boring sometimes. It's going to be times when that spark is not going to always be there. That fire is not going to always be there. There's going to be challenges. The way things are going to change. The way things that transpired when y'all first got together is going to change. Your wife is not going to always be that young, bubbly, sparkly young woman you first met. Your husband is not going to always be that outgoing, energetic guy that you first met. But even in marriage, that's why the vows are for better or for worse. Because the truth is, the worst is bound to come. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be obstacles. And the way marriage works, if you're not mature enough to understand that marriage comes with changes, that is not, you're not going to be happy with each other every day. You're not going to be in love with each other every day. But what makes marriage works is when you both are willing to do whatever it takes to keep the marriage progressing. If it means you got to go out and travel, if it means spending more time together, if it means having a night out on the town without the kids being there, you have to do what you have to do to keep that fire ignited in your marriage. One thing I know, stepping outside of your marriage does not fix anything. If anything, what it does, it creates a whole new set of problems. Because when you're messing around and you're dealing with these outsiders, you may get to choose what you want to do, but you don't get to choose the consequences. You don't get to choose the outcome. You get involved with somebody on the outside of your marriage because you're having problems in your marriage. You could very well be creating another problem. You could be taking on a person that's very possessive, who will eventually catch feelings for you, who don't want you going back home to your wife, who don't want you going back home to your husband, or they'll blackmail you. If you leave me or if you walk away from me, I'll tell your wife, I'll tell your husband. You got a lot of dysfunctional individuals out there. And these days, it's harder and harder to find people that are genuine. So I wasn't satisfied. I wasn't getting what I needed at home. My wife don't give me enough head. My husband, he don't make enough bread. Everybody has excuses when it comes to cheating. It's always you're not getting what you want. But if that's the case, then what you need to do is you need to leave that marriage. Don't hold on to the marriage, but yet you step out and get a little fulfillment in the areas you feel like you're not getting in your marriage. Because it's called being greedy and it's called being selfish. I never could understand people that like to use that logic. Every cheater has used that excuse. Every cheater has said, I was not satisfied. I was not being pleased. Okay, you wasn't satisfied. You wasn't being pleased, but yet you stayed in the marriage. While you stepped outside of the marriage to get pleased for the moment. So if you really was that unhappy, then why did you keep your marriage while you stepped out on it? Why didn't you just leave your marriage altogether and go be with this person who you felt like was pleasing you and giving you what you needed? So to me, that I'm not being satisfied is just an excuse. Cheaters have been telling out those lies for years. And the side chicks, they say the same thing. Well, if she was doing what she was supposed to do, he wouldn't be coming to me. He wouldn't be laying with me. He laying with you because you're convenient, not because you're good for him. There's a difference between good coochie and convenient coochie. And a lot of these side chicks really think they're good like that, when the truth is they're just convenient. You got a lot of 7-Eleven booty going on around here. Just pump and dump, straight convenient. And you have a lot of women, side chicks out here who really believe that a married man dealing with them defines that he's unhappy in his marriage. What a man does for you does not define who or what his wife is. If anything, you as a woman, you shouldn't even want a man that belongs to somebody else. Because the thing is, you're going to always come second. Always. It don't matter if you come to your house every night. It don't matter if he buys you a car, buys you this. He buys you all of these little gimmicks, these little side chick gadgets to keep you at bay. But the truth of the matter is, most of the time, these men ever rarely leave their wives. And the ones who do, they end up paying the price for it. Every time. If you don't mind constantly being second, then do you, side chick. Do you if you don't mind being second. Do you if the day this man was to die and pass away, you not getting nothing. Everything going to the wife. She getting the house, she getting the cars, she getting everything. All you getting is the few little nuts you busted with him when he was over there banging you out. Hush Q4, so about I'm available Monday through Friday and weekends. Bye Q4. Thank you, Ambion, for the $20 donation. Good morning, Mocha. I like the look. Great message. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah. But you have a lot of women who really think like that. They think, well, he must not be happy. It has nothing to do with him being happy and not happy. My thing is, a lot of side chickens, they won't ask themselves this question. If he's that unhappy, why he won't leave his wife? Why he's only coming to you to pound you out every other Saturday, but he going back home? And I get it. You have a lot of women, where the wife, she's stupid. The wife, she dumb. The wife, she so-and-so. The wife is being a wife. Guess what? At the end of the day, a wife ain't got no control over what her husband does. No more than the husband has any control over what his wife does. If a person's going to step out on his wife, step out on her husband, that's their decision. That does not define you. No different than having a child. You can have a child, a son or daughter. You could have raised them and taught them right from wrong. And they still go astray, still end up in prison, still end up in jail. That does not mean you failed as a parent. No more than your husband stepped out, your wife stepped out. That does not mean you failed as a wife. You failed as a mother. You failed as a husband. You know how many husbands have bust their ass working 9 to 5 and working hard to give their wives the lifestyle she got, and she cheated on him with a 0? You know how many men have worked hard and given their wives everything, and their wife still cheated on them? You know how many women are good ass women, cook, clean, do everything, and their man will still step out on them? You have no control. Your man or your woman stepping out on you does not define you as a man or a woman. Like when Derrick Jackson's wife did what she did. Everybody was going after Derrick Jackson's wife. You had women picking on how this woman's hair looked, picking on how her clothes look, just straight degrading her because of something his dumbass did. That was not Derrick Jackson's wife. That was Derrick Jackson. Him stepping out on her did not define what type of wife she was. Y'all know what these hoes and half of these feet Negroes were saying? Oh, well, if she would have been dressed and had her hair done, why her hair wasn't done? This woman was in the privacy of her own goddamn home. If I'm in my house, I should be able to wear my bonnet without people looking at me sideways like I don't know how to dress when I step out in the streets. Thank you, Jay Shine, for the $10 donation. Mocha, aka Dream Snatcher. Let these hoes make their dollars. When Derek Jackson, everybody was attacking this woman. Everybody attacked Derek Jackson's wife like it's her fault. No, Derek Jackson made the conscious decision to go fuck around in his marriage. He did that, not her. So why everybody coming for her, torturing her, tormenting her? Because truth be told, anybody that's a woman who has been through it, we know how that shit feels. And it amazes me how women be the main ones to bash other women like your ass ain't never experienced that type of pain. We all have at some point. Whether it was with your first boyfriend who cheated on you, whoever. And the single women had got a kick out of it because single women already, I'm going to step on some toes, single women already be hating on married women as it is. So they love when stories like this come out that, oh, her big time husband cheating on her. Y'all get a kick out of another woman's pain like y'all ain't never goddamn been through it. Like y'all, a nigga never broke your heart, never disappointed you. Bullshit. We all have gone through that. So when this Derek Jackson thing came out, these single women was having a field damn day with that. That's what she get. She thought she had something. But you know some bad part is, these same women who was rejoicing when Derek Jackson was exposed for cheating on his wife, these are the same women, mark my word, they will ride Derek Jackson's penis in a heartbeat. These same sisters up here who clowning her, if they can get 2 minutes with Derek Jackson, they will be slobbing on the knob and doing all that and then some. And yes, you do have some married women who try to, who try to put their marriage on a pedestal, who try to act like shit is always gravy, nothing ain't always going wrong. And guess what? When you put your husband on a pedestal and you treat him like he's God, like he can never disappoint you, you will deal with your karma too. Sometimes you got to give people room to disappoint you. You do. When you have this attitude, he'll never cheat on me. He'll never mess around on me. You set yourself up for failure because you really don't know what your husband is capable of doing. But at the same time, women don't need to be going in on other women because we all have been down that road. If she wants to stick with her husband, let her stick with her husband. Underrated Darkness, what's up? A lot of y'all taking shit off of niggas who never gave y'all a ring, but he'll leave a ring in your goddamn tub. That's the only ring some of y'all miserable asses got. Is the ring that your baby daddy leave in your tub after he done banged you out. He leave a ring in your tub and won't even goddamn clean the tub out with comment. Women is always trying to get a one-up on other women. Black women have always been like that. We always try to one-up each other. You have black women who are single mothers who love when married women get dragged because it makes them feel good as a single mother. So that's why I ain't got a man. That's why I don't want no man. You don't have a man because you can't get one. Or you got these 3-4 baby daddies. Where your men at? Or the ones who married think they better than the ones who single. The bottom line is all of us going through some type of bullshit, whether you married or you single. Black women and one-ups. We all try to one-up each other. Well, I'm glad I ain't married because I don't have all them problems. I'm glad I don't have a man to come home to give me them problems. My husband ain't cheating on me. Some of y'all will never get husbands. Truth be told, don't be knocking what another woman goes through in her marriage because it could very well be your turn. You and your baby daddy, you can't get nothing out of him no more than the married woman could probably get out her husband. It's so many different levels to the struggle. And I really wish black women would get off each other balls on that. We love to see each other. We love to see each other fail. When Derek Jackson's wife got exposed, all these single women couldn't wait to do a live stream and talk about how black men ain't shit. That's why it's better not to be married to black men. They could not wait. They wanted to use Derek Jackson's exposure to prove a point. And that is what black people do in the black community. We use each other's failures to prove a point all the time. When Derek Jackson got exposed, you had a lot of black men who was rejoicing due to the fact that Derek Jackson had a lot of black women who were supporting him. So when he got exposed for what he did, it gave them a standing ovation because they was already hating on the fact he had a lot of black women supporting him. And of course, we know why black women were supporting him, because he basically was doing content to boost up the ego of delusional black women. We know why he became successful. We know that. No different than you have these other content creators that are becoming successful off of bashing the opposite sex. Derek Jackson ain't doing nothing that these other content creators haven't already been doing or doing now. He's just doing it from a different angle. But a lot of these content creators have been profiting off of the delusions of black people. So, he's not doing something that everybody else who already wasn't doing. So like I said, when he got exposed, you had these brothers who basically making a mockery out of him, because that's what you black women get. Y'all been supporting him, and he been saying how to have a love for black women, and he cheating on his own black wife. So you had a lot of black men who act like they never cheated, who act like they ain't never did shit wrong. But because Derek Jackson got exposed, they made a big damn field day out of it. Like, I know he is not the only black man on this planet who has cheated or did some type of violation. And I get it. A lot of people felt like because he put himself up there so high to be a certain way, so people felt like he deserved the attack. And I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. He deserved it because the attack. But these same ones, these computer gangsters, everybody got an opinion. Like, y'all ain't never did none of what like, he the only one who ever did that. And I'm not saying he right for it, but I'm just saying it just amazes me how when people catch you in a little exposure, they want to run with it. So you had these brothers who was clowning him, for cheating on his black wife, even though he's telling black white women they are queens, but he's cheating on his own queen. Then you got these single women who are already anti-black men, who already hate black men. So when Derek Jackson got caught in his scandal, they used him as a reference to prove that, see, black men aren't worth being married to. Black men aren't worth having anything with. When really the truth of the matter is, listen, this is why I cannot stress this more than enough. As a subscriber, you have to have your own mind, because it's so many people on here that's going to be preaching to y'all and teaching y'all and telling y'all how to live, telling y'all how to think, telling y'all how to be. And the truth is, a lot of these dating coaches, a lot of them are not living what they are preaching. And that's why so many of them are getting exposed. And there's going to be more to come. That's why I don't worship no man. And when I say man, meaning man and woman, I don't worship man. I don't worship none of these female dating coaches on here. I don't worship none of these male dating coaches on here. Because these same people you caping for, these same people you are members, paying monthly fees like you tie them to their congregation and their channels. A lot of these people that y'all are supporting and rocking with, a lot of them are not genuine. A lot of them are not who they say they are. A lot of them are not living what they are preaching. What they are doing is they are profiting off of the delusions and pain of black people. Bottom line, you got some dating coaches around here making black women think that no matter how dysfunctional they are, they deserve a king. And then you have other dating coaches around here building the egos of these bum ass Negroes, making them think that they are God's gift to black women, and they aren't. You have a lot of these dating coaches that are lying to black men and black women, making us think that we are entitled to shit that a lot of us are not entitled to. A lot of us are not entitled. Let's be frank. All black men are not entitled to good black women. All black women are not entitled to good black men. But y'all let these dating coaches sit up here and manipulate y'all and make y'all feel like y'all worth is so significant that y'all deserve the best of the best. And the truth is, a lot of us have burnt a lot of bridges. We have done a lot of people in. You have mistreated people from your past. So a lot of people are not going to be blessed with a good man or a good woman because of things that they have done to people in the past that they have not repented for, that they have not ask for forgiveness for. A lot of us have burnt a lot of bridges, and until you go back and you correct, even if it's a simple apology, until you clean up shit from your past, it don't matter how much you try to move forward, it's going to be right there to haunt you. Every time you try to step out there and get you another man, step out there and get you another woman, because you have done some people wrong in the past. And that's the problem. People think they can do somebody wrong in the past and you can move on in your future and be great. Some things you got to go back and you got to correct. You got to clear damage that has been done. And then when you repent and you ask for forgiveness, that's when God will open other doors for you. A lot of y'all will never be blessed because you don't think you did anything wrong. You don't think you've done anybody wrong. Sometimes when stuff keep going wrong, back to back, stuff, you keep losing people, you keep losing friends, you keep losing a good man, keep losing a good woman. You have to do some soul searching. Y'all want to listen to these dating coaches that sit up here lying to y'all and telling you you are worth getting this type of man, this type of woman. All of us are not worthy. Truth is, a lot of us don't deserve to do any better, to get any better than what we got, because we have done a lot of things that we have not, we haven't repented for it. Yeah, but I know I'm going way off the topic, but I'm not going to stay too long. But I just thought it was imperative. I know I want to switch in other lanes, but basically, Kendu Isaacs, he got what he deserved. And that's why you have to be mindful when you step outside your marriage, because you don't know what the future holds. He got what he deserved. He left his wife, and now his sugar baby, she turned around and she left him. That's how it goes. And guess what? Sugar baby, her karma ain't over. Her karma is not over, because her new man, he's going to leave her. It's going to keep going. Karma does not just only hit one person. It hits everybody who's been involved in the situation. So yeah, even though she left Kendu Isaacs, she's still going to pay the price. Supposedly, she's pregnant with child. It's not Kendu Isaacs. She has a new man. She's engaged. So she called herself now, since Kendu is not getting any more Mary J. Blige checks, she done basically cashed out, and she's with another man now. So somebody mentioned in the chat, the way you get them is how you lose them. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just thought it was imperative that I shared this with y'all. If you are in a marriage or you are in a relationship, I don't care how rough it gets, how complicated it gets, how challenging it gets. Don't think you can resolve the problem by bringing another person in your marriage. That, if anything, it creates a whole nother set of problems. You have to be mindful of that. You know, these outsiders, they don't have nothing to lose. You got everything to lose, you know. So as the married person, there's going to be things you're going to go through. There's going to be obstacles. You know, I understand being a married man, there's a lot of temptation out there. You're going to see all type of beautiful women. You're going to see women that look better than your wife, that may have a little bit more offer than your wife, but you don't know all of the collateral damage that's going to come behind getting involved with her. And the same thing with you married women out there. You may feel like your husband works so much, he doesn't have time for you. Your husband, he's not as exciting and adventurous as he used to be. As a married couple, you got to put that spark back in your marriage. You got to put that light back in your marriage. Marriage can get boring sometimes. It can get frustrating. Sometimes you do get on each other's nerves. But at the end of the day, when it boils down to it, your wife got your back. Your husband got your back. These side chicks, these side Negroes, they're not going to have your back. They're only there for the time being. And when they done got what they wanted out you, they no longer have no purpose for you. Yep, the same way you got them is the same way you're going to lose them. Thanks, Jess. I ain't seen you in a minute, Jess. I always enjoy your commentary and perspective. Thank you. Appreciate it. And my sis Poetic Kales is in the building. Now, ladies, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you subscribe to my Mocha's Ladies Lounge channel if you haven't already. Make sure y'all subscribe to that. I wanted to do more content on relationships and building and healing. I think a lot of us need that in order for us to move forward and to get more successful relationships in the long run. So anyway, y'all, again, I know I haven't in a while, other than behind my avatar. So I decided to go live today without my avatar because, again, I feel like as a content creator, we owe it to our subscribers. Once in a while, we need to cam up. We need to have that personal interaction with y'all, especially if y'all have been supporters and been very loyal to our channel. I think it's very important that every once in a while, as a content creator, you cam up, you let your people see you, see how you doing and everything. So again, I definitely appreciate all of the super chats. I appreciate all of my subscribers. I see y'all as a family. I appreciate y'all for showing love. For those of you who couldn't super chat, I appreciate y'all just stopping by, showing me love, hanging out in the chat room and everything. So again, y'all, please start subscribing to content creators, to the small content creators, because believe it or not, there's more ethnicity in small content creators because due to the fact that we are willing to give content of more substance because we're not so focused on views. And we're not so focused on popularity. So just keep in mind that the small content creators need all the support they can possibly get. Because when people start getting big in this game, eventually they lose their authenticity. The things they started off doing content about, the things that first really made you like them, the things that made you subscribe to them when they were small. You have a lot of content creators. They are slowly but surely, they are derailing from being authentic. Because now a lot of content creators are focusing on the content creators that are getting bigger than them, that are becoming more successful than them. And most content creators in the Black YouTube sector are becoming successful because they're basically contributing what I call is a lot of bitter pill knowledge. It's not black pill, it's not red pill, it's not pink pill. You have a lot of content creators that are producing what's called bitter pill content. In other words, they're giving you content from a bitter place. You have a lot of Black men and Black women who only want to give content in a negative perspective about Black men or Black women because they know that is what gains the views. They know that is what gains the popularity. They know that is what gains the success. So it's very imperative that some of y'all start supporting y'all small content creators or whatever. So just make sure y'all do that. You know what I mean? You don't always have to super chat or always have to, do other things. Just show support, basically, because a lot of small content creators aren't getting all the support that they deserve. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to get ready to shut it down. It is your diva and knowledge lady Mocha. Remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always bake you off a slice of knowledge. Y'all be blessed. Take care. Bye.